All right, Wayne, I think we can get started now.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Welcome to our Tech Talk, and this is our last scheduled Tech Talk of 2020. So we appreciate everybody joining us throughout all of our seminars since April when we kind of switched to online only format. And this session is going to be recorded, so it'll be posted on our corporate YouTube page for viewing afterwards. So myself, Wayne Welk, automation specialist with the Rollins Company in New Orleans, will be a panelist, as well as Mike Masterson, our automation specialist out of Houston. And Catherine Kramer will get credit for today. Unfortunately, she can't make this presentation, but she was really helpful in kind of putting together some of the slides for today. And Catherine is in our marketing department, and it doesn't really get. She's always kind of a behind the scenes player, so we wanted to give her some credits for her hard work.
And she's actually not here because she is on some other conference call concerning our topic today.
Yes. So Automation Fair is absorbing all of marketing's resources right now across Rockwell and distributors. And we also want to point out there was quite a bit of alliteration happening on this slide too. So between all the names here, see if you catch that one or not. So like I mentioned a moment ago, this is our last scheduled event. We were considering maybe a Tech Talk perhaps in December. We haven't quite got that together yet, but for the moment, this is the last one of the year. So we do plan on continuing after the holiday break between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We'll meet back up in 2021, all refreshed, and we'll continue to kind of do the online thing, because with the COVID situation is kind of not necessarily improving or hasn't gone away fully. So we'll continue to be online only, at least throughout the first half of 2021, most likely. And as always, these sessions are meant for our customers and for our sales teams alike. And we'd love to hear feedback and comments and any suggestions for topics to cover on Tech Talks, as well as user group sessions. So please give us your feedback. And I do believe, as we speak for everyone, then that we're looking forward to a new year in 2021, and hopefully things are getting better. So today's topic is Automation Fair at Home, and we're about a week and a half away to the event. And the event will last a week, so from Monday the 16th through Friday the 20th. So it's a full week of online seminars and sessions. And if anyone has attended Automation Fair in the past, which I'm sure most of you guys have, you're probably wondering, well, how can we take Automation Fair and bring it into the at-home component or the virtual or online experience? And that's kind of what we're going to try to preview today, is to show you how that will translate to online.
I think the big takeaway here is this Automation Fair will be a lot easier on your feet than the ones previously.
No doubt. You might actually get some sleep, at night as well, between sessions, between days. And the theme of this year is Your Next, and I wanted to kind of highlight that here because that's it's all about your future, your next. What's your next step in the digital transformation journey? And I think this is one thing that Rockwell, I think, does pretty good at, is that the journey, every customer is at a different point in that journey, and no matter where you're at in that journey, we're here to help you, with that. So if you're just starting, then we're here to help with the perhaps beefing up your industrial networking and your infrastructure on your plant floor, and bringing more devices and connecting more devices on the plant floor. If you've already kind of crossed that bridge, or you're kind of ahead in that journey, then maybe your next is getting that data up to the enterprise level. And if you're even further along your journey, maybe the next step is looking at how you take all that data and now make more informed decisions. That's all where the analytics and kind of the all the newer trends and the newer things we've been talking about, is the analytics and stuff, kind of helping you become more productive. So that's what the theme is, and that's kind of what all the sessions you'll see are kind of designed around helping you in that journey when finding your next. So, again, if you've been to Automation Fair in the past, you understand the experience. To me, it's always been, I've always enjoyed just walking the exhibit floor and seeing all the vendors' booths and all the Rockwell displays, and seeing all the cool stuff, right? Like the robotic arms and the independent cart, and just some really, people spend a lot of time and effort in making cool displays for their booths. People like Spectrum Controls always has their theme, right? Their costume themes. There's always kind of fun things about that. And of course, Automation Fair is always about new product launches, and not only from Rockwell, but also our partner network or Encompass partners always like to launch new products there, and technical sessions and hands-on labs and keynote addresses. And all of that stuff is actually still going to be a part of the at-home experience. So you'll have instead of an exhibit floor, you'll have what's called the Rockwell Automation Experience, and we'll show some screenshots of what that'll look like. So you'll have a kind of a 3D space that you can walk around and interact with displays, as well as kind of speak to experts if you choose to do so. There'll be all the new products on display, of course, and there will be plenty of technical sessions, keynote addresses, and hands-on labs, all virtually. All you have to do is log in with your web browser, very much like you're doing today with this Zoom call. There'll be a technical session link to join into. And hands-on labs will be live as well. So if you were somebody who went to Rock Live back in June, which was also a virtual event like this, then you've kind of got the understanding of what this was about. If you didn't attend Rock Live, then you'll get to see this experience firsthand. And one of the pieces, the Distributor Lounge. So this is kind of a newly added piece. So all the distributors will have a kind of a virtual space as well. So you can not only interact with all the Rockwell team members and experts, you can also interact with us, the Reynolds company, inside the Distributor Lounge. And Mike will highlight the Distributor Lounge a little bit later, as well as some of the hands-on and technical sessions here in a few slides. So one of the things that I've, just kind of looking at the information that's kind of just come out. And so one thing we should say too, is a lot of information about Automation Fair has just been released like this week. So we've known some of the major points, right? Like it's going to be online and there'll be technical sessions and hands-on labs. We didn't really know some of the other pieces yet. And these are just getting kind of coming out, like I said, in the last day or two. So one like really cool piece, I'll say cool, is going to be this Rockwell Automation Experience. And there will be 3 kind of exhibit halls, shall we say, to this experience. And they are digital engineering, digital thread, and product and technology showcase. So again, there's a lot of the stuff is around the digital transformation. So that includes, the terms and the concepts of digital engineering and digital thread. And what they've actually done, and I'll show the picture here in a moment, is they actually built these exhibits for real in their Milwaukee headquarters. And then they went and did a 3D rendering of these spaces. So it's very much like a video game in that you'll be in the space and you can walk around, kind of click and move around the floor of the exhibit hall and enter an area and take a look at what those are.
Yeah, one of the things we'll get to experience, we'll actually be able to take a look at a demo of the actual contactor production line. Yes. So we'll get a nice view of that.
Yep. So when you first kind of go into this area of Automation Fair, you'll get to this kind of screen, the one, kind of the one on the far left there, and you can kind of choose the area you want to go into. Again, the 3 main positions there. And then as you can kind of see in these screenshots, you just kind of enter the digital hall. or digital engineering hall or the digital thread experience, and then you start to move around, and then there's going to be little kind of call outs there on a screen that will allow you to click and get more information. So there could be product data sheets or various marketing brochures. And as you move around, you can take these brochures, you can add them to your kind of briefcase, so you can kind of save those files for later and review them. And in every one of these places, as you enter a particular area of each experience hall, there will be Rockwell experts waiting in that area to answer questions. So you don't have to chat with those guys if you don't want to, but if you want to speak and ask a question or two, there'll be a button there to say, ask an expert. So here's a little better view of what that looks like. So this one's from the Digital Engineering Hall. And, again, if you've been to Automation Fair before, you know what these little kiosks look like, and you've walked up to these things before. And as you know, Automation Fair is always somebody standing there from Rockwell ready to help you and answer questions. So no different in this case. You'll just have a virtual expert that you can click and interact with at that point. Here's a view of the digital thread experience. So in this case, they're showing what looks to be an actual manufacturing line kind of got created here in the, again, in Milwaukee. And this will help you kind of show, the concept of the digital thread, taking a piece, taking raw material in and turning it into a product on the outside, and then having all of the digital, traces throughout the process. As you can see in the picture, there's a lot of, control logics, static switches, some kinetics drives all sitting in that one panel right there, kind of towards the right-hand side. And then you kind of move around this space and just look around and explore and see, what it's all about.
And that's actually the Rockwell, that is the contactor line we're looking at right now.
So a real live.
That is a real actual live working line.
Yep. And last area is the product and technology showcase. So this is kind of what we're most accustomed to attending the real Automation Fair, and that's just seeing all the the product walls and the kind of demonstrations of all the products in action, as well as anything new. So I just grabbed this particular one on the networks and security infrastructure, but as you walk around, there'll be all the traditional products, from Rockwell on display in this area as well. And kind of zoomed out, but we haven't quite been able to see the full experience, but we're would expect you can kind of zoom in closer and take a look at the wall, just as if you were standing in front of it. So the other pieces, of course, like we said earlier, was the new products. That's always been a tradition of Automation Fair, is to showcase and launch, new products during the event, and that is no different in this case. So there'll be an area that you can enter into and see what's new and what's coming out, perhaps, in the early part of 2021 from Rockwell. And the other part is the partner showcase. So, once again, one of the big pieces of Automation Fair is the exhibit floor, and all of the Encompass partners are always a part of that. And you can walk around and meet those representatives from those companies. And that is no different here as well. So there'll be another area of the event that is an actual kind of virtual trade show that you can walk into an Encompass Partners booth, and you can see their virtual booth, and you can kind of, they'll have some information there. You can kind of grab about the company. There could be a video perhaps posted about who they are, and there will be people representing the company, live on hand to answer questions, and you can chat with them. So a great opportunity to meet, not only the Rockwell team of experts, but also the Encompass partner team of experts in those sessions, or in that showcase as well. Last bit for me here is on just the industry forums. So there will be throughout the week, and these will be actual live events that will be kind of scheduled on a particular date and time. And these are going to be 60-minute or so moderated panels around various industries. And this is, again, this is a traditional part of Automation Fair as well. So in this case, you'll just join virtually and can join those panel discussions. And as you can see the list here, they touch on pretty much all the major verticals or major industries that would probably touch most of our customer base as well.
Okay.
All right, now I'll hand over to Mike to talk a little bit about the technical sessions and how that will go.
Okay, thanks, Wayne. The most important takeaway I'll get you right now is you need to register for this. The labs, these, not the labs, but the technical sessions, they are going to be available for 6 months after the event. But you still have to be registered to it. And because I know how the day goes, sometimes you might register for something and might not be able to get that to that particular session. So as long as you register, you will have 6 months to be able to access and go back to some of these technical sessions. So please go out and do get registered, especially the Reynolds employees too. All right. Let's go take a look at some of the sessions here. I'm not going to go through every one of them because as we go through this, I'm going to have slides and slides. At the registration, Rockwell registration site, you can actually get a list of all the sessions that are available. But you see on this particular slide deck, we have classes going over life cycle, remote support, cybersecurity, robotics. Next one. If it seems like I'm going fast, it's because I don't want to read all these to you because you don't want to know my reading comprehension skills.
Yeah, the reason why we did this too, just to interrupt Mikey there for a second, was that these slides will be available, will be posted as well afterwards too. So it's just a good reference to kind of go back and look at after the fact. Yep.
Yeah, and one thing I want to let you know, as you are navigating the hallways, as Wayne showed you, it will keep track of where you've been. So you aren't going to get lost in this digital maze. So every place you go visit, you will get a check mark so you won't have to backtrack. I did play around in the, I guess the beta version of it. I was a little bit concerned about getting lost in there. But they have taken care of that. So as we look at Dean, you're a little premature. We did have a question and we'll get to that in a little bit. On this slide, again, you know, some of the technologies we have, we're also going to our power. We're looking at arc flash, North American standards, architectures from the going from the machine floor to the business system. And as you notice, things have changed a lot 20 years. So there's a lot more networking sessions available also. Then we come over here, then as you see, we get to more of the analytics, how to get analytics to the OT level. We're going to look at industrial computing and also reporting. But as you see, these sessions cover many different technologies and parts of what we consider our automation world. Next one, Wayne.
Yep, another one.
And then we come in here. We haven't forgotten our small controllers, neat things like hazardous area mobile computing, and taking a look at wireless and how it's utilized out in the field. As you notice, a lot of these are being done by the Encompass partners. So it's not just a Rockwell point of view. We're getting views from also our Encompass partners that are putting on these sessions too. And last but not least, we're looking at some of these sessions here are concerning power monitoring and circuit protection. Again, more on the power side of it, but there's a little bit of something for everybody here. Okay, now the at-home labs or the Automation Fair at-home hands-on labs, they are pay sessions. I want to make everyone aware of it. It is $99 per lab, limit 2. And they are filling up. So if you're interested in doing these labs, please register for them. At this time, I can't tell you if we're going to, the distributor is going to have access to these labs after the event. I haven't gotten word one way or the other on it, but some of these labs are basic labs, like the Studio 5000 labs are probably similar to ones that we've done before. But there are some new unique labs that we'll see if we're going to be able to have access to after, but this is not part of the 6-month presentation window. So after the event, if you do see a lab you're interested in, please get with your distributor specialist and we'll see if we can get you to it. But for right now, they are pay labs. Specifically, they want to make sure this is costing a lot to keep up this virtual environment. And Rockwell's found if they actually put a price on it, they get more people to actually attend instead of just signing up for it and not attending. So they're trying to get away from that. All right. Some of the labs on, again, I hit the one I always get stuck doing are the Studio 5000 basic and advanced labs. Traditionally I've done a lot of those at automation fairs. But we also have labs on robotics, the ThingWorks analytics part of it. So even down to VFD and drive programming, which I think, next slide.
Yeah.
I think we cover some of that. And take a look at some of the newer hardware. So again, labs are available. If you see one you like and you can get into it, I suggest signing up for it now because I can't say we're going to have access to it later.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned too, just if you're worried or wondering what you need to do to actually do these labs or even attend, it's nothing more than a web browser and an internet connection. So there's no software required on your end. It'll all be web-based.
Yeah, it's cloud-based. And if you've ever had one of your distributor specialists set up a RACP lab, it'll be similar to that. Now let's talk about something that general attendees were not allowed to go to in previous automation fairs, is the process system users group. This was usually a separate paid event. Now it's open to everybody, and I must tell you, has gone to many automation fairs. I've actually gotten more out of these sessions than I think I've gotten on some of the plant floor sessions. Specifically, the process system users group is pointed at towards process control engineers, plant managers, operators, the IT guys that are involved in it, integrators, and the EPC consultants. And this year it's a big deal for us because we've just released Plant PAX 5.0, which will be talked about heavily in some of these discussions. But a lot of these will have keynote sessions that are looked at actual applications that people have run into. This is not just made up theory. These are practical applications where people have run into it. We'll be covering plant back. Let's see, next slide, Wayne. Okay, some of the things you'll see, there's a heavy emphasis on Plant PAX 5.0, but we look at batch, we look at HMI design, and a lot of these are, again, from a practical experience. We're not teaching you part numbers, we're showing you how these were actually applied in real situations. So that's where I think, especially when we get customers involved as part of it, who are a lot of times part of these presentations. So I think it's a really good learning experience here. So please take advantage and sign up for the PSUG events if you see that some of these appeal to you. Because if you haven't had access to them in previously, I think you'll find them very helpful. Okay. The digital, Wayne, help me with DX.
Digital transformation, yes. That's the acronym of the year, is DX.
Yes, Rockwell has used this a lot, but again, this is something to sign up for. This is an actual track. This is for all the IoT to OT type people. We're going to have a lot of people there who are interested in the PTC involvement. Emulate 3D is well represented on this track also. So a lot of new technologies are going to be proposed here. So if you're on the cutting edge, this is really something to take a look at. All right. Now, as you set up for your tracks, you can actually, if you want to decide which direction you go, there's these different tracks and session tags you see here will actually help you point you in the right direction, what sessions you might be interested in, because you can basically search for the sessions based on these different topics. If you're in life sciences and looking for hands-on labs concerning life sciences and you're a middle manager, you can search on your registration based on some of these product offerings and topics. So you'll see that upon registration, and has a job level. That's one thing they never really have in there is distributor specialist. So I generally give myself a much better title than I have currently.
We're just staff.
We are just staff, yes. So, but keep that in mind when you're registering or trying to find the sessions that work best for you. All right. Now, last but not least, we will have Reynolds and Mac will be represented with our own Distributor Lounge. We don't have a lot of information on this right now, but what I can tell you is that there will be Reynolds and Mac employees from the automation side of the business, the power side of the business. The sales people will also be represented, but we will actually have live personnel there. So if any attendees have any questions for any of the distributor specialists or salespeople, you will have access to us through the Distributor Lounge. Apparently we're also working on some other things to add to it, but at this time I can't tell you about that because that's actually what Catherine Kramer's conference call is about today.
Yeah, we'll have some technical, we'll have a schedule of maybe a few little like short technical sessions, maybe kind of like a hangout with some of our experts or specialists at various times during the week. So we'll kind of send some invites out. We don't want to take people away from the main event, of course, but it's a chance to kind of come in and kind of meet us as well. And also, again, we're kind of combined with Mac now, or McNaught and McKay, so that we'll get to kind of meet that team as well.
All right. And where to get information, you can go to Reynolds Online, our website, go to the Rockwell website, or if you really want to get more detailed questions, get with your local specialist. I will say we actually have a live walkthrough that the specialists are the distributors do have access to. So if you really can't visualize how this is going to work, if you work for us, we can actually show you how this is going to work, and you can convey this to your customers. But having played around with it yesterday, even an old Aggie like me can figure it out. So they dumbed it down to my level, so I'm feeling confident that any of our customers will be able to navigate this.
Yes, so it's going to be a great experience. Something to, it's unique. It's the first time doing this, so it's a great chance to bring in people who could traditionally not travel to Automation Fair. It would have been in Anaheim this year in California, so that would have been a tough trip for a lot of people anyway to get out to the West Coast. So, so if you've never attended Automation Fair, or if you got some people who were never, could attend, this is a great chance to get them, to invite them to sign up. Register. Registration's free. Sign up. Attend a session or two. The sessions will be, of course, up for 6 months, so you can always come back to it. If you can't make it that particular week, then you can always go back over the next couple months and catch them. So a great chance to expose a lot of people to the event that would never get the opportunity to go before.
Yep. Thank you very much. And again, in the meantime, if you have any questions concerning the event, feel free to reach out to your specialist, and we'll try to get you up to speed on it. We are learning more about it every day. Just want to let you know. First thing I do in the morning is look up and try to find out more information on it. So I'm trying to stay up to it. So if you do have any questions, feel free to give me a call.
Yep. All right. I guess with that, we'll leave it there. Again, this will be posted. The slides will be posted, and and there's a lot of references available on the automationfair.com site, or session guides and all that stuff. Yeah.
And on the slide deck, there are hot links that will take you to Rockwell web pages on it if you have any questions on it. Something we didn't demo here, but the links in the PowerPoint are hot, or some
Yep.
of them are.
Yep. Good point.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.